Okay. Here we go. It's Hashem. Today, hold on a second. Today, Bezat Hashem, we're going to, thank you so much. We're going to start a new Torah.
Oh, right. You want to finish that one?
We'll see what to do about the finish because it gets so complicated and deep. So, sort of like, I was afraid that with my explanations, everybody's going to fall asleep. So, be that as it may, what the Torah that we're learning is the Torah's man. It says the Torah that everybody in wrestling was learning, and they switched from Torah and Vav to Torah Aleph Chelek Beis. But even so, B'ezrat Hashem, Chelek Beis. We will, B'ezrat Hashem, try to do a shtickle achana for Tisha B'Av, being that now obviously is the 9 days. Yes. That's a Torah that is known by the name of Tikkun Memshala. Tikkun b'chodesh Shofar, b'kesel liyom chagenu. That's the pasuk on which the Torah is predicated. That's the secret code. The entire Torah is unfolding from that pasuk. Like all the Torahs in the Likutey Moharan, practically all the Torahs, definitely the major Torahs, that Rabbeinu starts with the pasuk, and then he continues with the conclusion. The first paragraph is the conclusion of what the Torah ends up saying, and then the Rebbe gives the akdamas, all the building blocks that are leading towards that goal, towards that sikum, that maskana. And then at the end, Rabbeinu shows how the entire thing is folded up and is packed inside the first pasuk. There were certain cases in which Rabbeinu did not explain how the entire Torah is embedded in the first pasuk that he said. Sometimes he didn't get to it for whatever reason. Rabbeinu chose not to, and at other times Rabbeinu said that in order to explain how that Torah is embedded in that pasuk, will take a Torah just as long, just to explain how it comes out of the pasuk. This particular Torah deals this, and it says, Ki ish Israeli, a Jewish person, Nivra, was created, that he will have authority, governance, he will be in charge of the malachim, of the angel. That's the goal and the eventuality of Israel. Like Chazal said, Hasidim Tzadikim in the future, that it's the destiny of Tzadikim that their natural position will be before the Kodesh Baruch Hu and Maloch HaShoyes. Shene'emar, it is said, Ket Yamel Yaakov ul Israel. Now it will be said to Yaakov and Israel, Ma Pa'alkel, what it is that the Kodesh Baruch Hu has accomplished. Meaning, Shamalochem yitztarchu lish'ol Yisrael. The Malachim will have to ask, would you mind letting me know what it is that Kodesh Baruch Hu did? When they'll want to know what Kodesh Baruch Hu did. And every person must see that he should come to that tachlis, to that goal. That's the goal. That's the purpose of every Jew. Should have memshala over the angels. Meaning you should govern them. You should rule over them. You should be their boss.
We should rule over the Malach.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
How is that possible?
Okay. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
But the person has to be on guard very much. Has to see that he has the strength to withstand, to hold on to this memshala. You can see what Netanyahu is going through, just trying to, to have the government over here. And these are people, and maybe that's why it's so difficult. Actually, it's not maybe, it's for sure. But the same kind of problem that he has with everybody else quacking around him, the same kind of problem every Yid has with the Malachim.
It depends on what kind of Malach it is. It could be
Trust me. Trust me. The same kind of Lochenkopf that Am Yisrael is doing to whoever it is that rules over them, to their money. That's the way the Malachim, they don't like it. They don't like it. What do you mean? Moshe Rabbeinu come up to the Shemaim to receive Torah. The Malachim wanted to burn him up. They said, "What is a human being doing here among us?"
As I understand it, a Malach doesn't have its own mindset there. You do a certain job, and then that's it.
Yeah, but never. We'll talk about this. Malach Hashem won't be jealous of him. And they will push him over. Chas v'shalom. Because the angels are very jealous of such a person. That has authority over them. They try to push him into Averis, specifically to Taivas Niyuf. That's to the famous Taiva. You try to push him down. Push him. Moshe Rabbeinu, Ellis, every year. The Malachim, that he has governed him out of, that put him to push him down.
What? So how can all women? They're supposed. Malach.
Shamura was saying that Shematzino, as we found that Chazal said on a few Gdoilim, a few great people, Am Yisrael, Shebikshu Malach HaShoros L'Dochfoi, that the Malach HaShoros wanted to push them off. We found the Arba Nichasul Asada, four that went into the orchard. Ben Azai, Ben Zoymo, Acher, and Rebbe Akiva. They went to the Pardes, they went to the Rakia, they went to the Shemayim, and it says Rebbe Akiva, went in peace and came out in peace. As others, the main thing is that what we need to understand, especially now as we are a few days, obviously tonight's shir is learn the Tovas Klal Yisrael, the health of Klal Yisrael. We're connecting ourselves with the limit of Torah to Rabbeinu, to the Rebbe, and to Rabbeinu Arizal, that is his Yortzeit tonight.
It was
Arizal.
yesterday.
Hmm?
It was yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
Oh,
Okay, still.
today,
Yeah, okay.
during the day. It was there.
The Yortzeit of all the tzaddikim is 3 days before, 3 days after, especially tonight. Anyhow, the Gemara in Sanhedrin,
Did certain malachim come down and they had children with them? I remember some.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So is their way of also?
No, when they first came, it comes out of the same jealousy.
Yeah, yeah.
So Kodesh Baruch Hu says, "You think you're going to do a better job?
No.
Let's see you." You told them malachim, and then they went down, and you see what happened to them.
Yeah.
The two malachim, Azal, that they went into. Then Kodesh Baruch Hu chained them into Hara Choshech, a pit in Hara Choshech, and Bilam went to learn Kishuf from them.
What?
Shlomo Melech went to learn Kishuf from them.
Wait, I missed the first part of this.
There were two malachim.
I went to
Kodesh Baruch Hu and told them, why do you create people? Who are they? We should be the ones. That jealousy.
Yeah.
So the Kodesh Baruch Hu said, "Do you think you're going to do a better job in this world than men?" He said, "Yeah." He says, "Okay, go down." Then they came down. Yeah. They took women. They took whoever they want. Even the wives of people, whatever, they took whatever they want. They were the forefathers of all the giants. And at the end, Kadosh Baruch Hu chained them.
Chained them?
Chained them.
Or shall
In Hara Choshech, mountains of darkness. I don't know. I haven't seen it on the GPS, but there is a place like that.
So basically, they became people.
I don't know. I guess, it was, obviously they were in some kind of a body. Anyhow, if they conjugated with women, obviously, they had whatever it is that it took. They had a body, a corporeal body, enabled them. But they were, they knew the koyach of malachim, they had the seichel of malachim, the sog of malachim. They had a commensurately great Yetzirah, and they ended up being chained in Har HaCheshech. And Shlomo HaMelech used to ride on an eagle.
Used to ride
On an eagle.
an eagle.
Eagle. And the eagle would circle on top, above that hole. And Shlomo HaMelech would learn the Seides of Kishuf from them. Shlomo HaMelech was not able to get into the hole.
Eagle to that.
Into the hole. Within the mountains, there was a hole. Shlomo HaMelech was not able to get, it wasn't powerful enough to get inside the hole. Probably he would learn more.
What kind of
Hole. In the ground. Hole.
like,
A pit, yes.
yeah.
And obviously, if it would have gone in there, that's the way it seems, he would be able to learn more. There's only one person that was able to go there and get into the pit and learn Kisha from them and come back out alive. That was Bilam.
No one was the only one.
Yeah. He could do it. It says he was equal in Koyach to Moshe Rabbeinu, but from the side of Klipa.
We didn't know about
It was
that.
impressive.
Well, they knew. I mean, that was the era.
The pasuk comes in mind. Melech HaGoel Osed Ra.
Mikolra, yeah.
Nicole what?
Mikolra.
Yeah. Protect me from. Yeah, it was Yaakov who said this, right?
Oy.
Yeah. So I had a minhag when I found my tellus
Right.
to say that's that's about it. So it's not unknown. But I mean, like I'm not unique in that way. Like
No.
so I
Baruch Hashem. There are other tzaddikim, not as, like you and Am Yisrael that do that. Baruch Hashem.
So I just cut it somewhere.
Well,
Yeah. So, Baruch Hashem.
so
Yeah,
yes.
so I just wondered, does that have something to do?
I don't know. Possibly. I heard there were certain things I don't know yet. I don't know how on earth that could happen, but nevertheless, I heard, and I should be cautious. Anyhow, the main, in Masechet Sanhedrin, it is said that there are three inyanim that were mentioned between, each one was mentioned between two names of Hashem. One of them is Nekama, vengeance. Kel Nekamas Hashem. Kel, says the Pasuk, Nekamas, vengeance, Hashem. So that's one thing that was put between two names of Hashem. Kel Nekamas Hashem.
Means what?
Just what I'm saying. That concept of Nekama is placed between two mentions of the names of Hashem. The second thing is Beis HaMikdash. Hashem, Mikdash Hashem. Hashem, Mikdash Hashem, Kanu Yadecha. So it's Hashem, Mikdash Hashem. Another instance where something was mentioned between two mentioning of the name of Kadosh Baruch Hu. That's the Mikdash, Beis HaMikdash. And the third inyan that was mentioned between two names of Kadosh Baruch Hu is Deo, Das, Kel Deus Hashem. Das. These three things were given between two. So the question is, why dafka these three things? What is so important about these three things?
The three things again.
Vengeance, Beis HaMikdash, and Das. Why does the Gemara mentions it, puts it in such a pedestal? So these three things are unusual, and the fact that they were mentioned between two mentions of names of Hashem. The answer is that each one of these things encapsulates the essence, the mahus of Am Yisrael. Vengeance. Now, vengeance is one thing. It's not revenge. Vengeance means when the Ummah Sa'olam do something, they put together a plan to hurt the Jews, to finish them off, right?
Yeah. That's what they scream all the time. Revenge.
Right. And
Someone's not going to want to hate it. A religion out of it. They make a religion out of it. I said they make
yes.
a religion out of it.
So the question is like, we're talking about here Kel Nekomos Hashem. Hashem is the Kel Nekomos. Kel Konov Anoikim. Hashem is avenging. Why does Hashem need to have an akama? On one side, we see that lo titer velo sikoim. It's an isser. The kama is forbidden. It's an avera. At the same time, it says kel nekomas Hashem, kel kana v'naikim. And last week's parsha, because Baruch Hu commands Moshe Rabbeinu, go avenge the nickname of the Midyanim.
What they did.
Right. The answer is that when HaKadosh Baruch Hu avenges the Goyim for what they do to Am Yisrael, it is mamish mido keneged mido. And when that happens, it is a proof to the Memshala of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It reveals HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the world. The more, copy and paste the Nekama is, the bigger the Gilui of the Nekam of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We have it in Purim. On Purim, it's V'nafachu. Exactly, this is whatever the Goyim meant to do to the Jews was done to them. It's copy-paste. It's exactly a mirror image. The Medrash says that when Haman made the tree for Mordechai, he wanted to check the size of the noose of the rope. So he put his head in it to make sure that it's good. Malachim says, it fits, huh? Yeah, it fits. Yeah. That's why Purim, it becomes such a simcha and such a laughter, because everything that they wanted to do to us, point for point was done to them. In other words, they thought that they could, and they're talking about genocide. They're talking about finishing Shem Yerachem, all the Jews completely, and it was done to them. So the coma is one thing. Second is Beis Hamikdash. Beis Hamikdash, there were 10 constant miracles that happened in Beis Hamikdash. You went to Beis Hamikdash, you saw proof positive. Malchus HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You saw Hashem. The third thing is Das. The three things that are the typify Am Yisrael, the connection to Kadosh Baruch Hu, is the Torah, it is Eretz Yisrael, and it is the Beis Hamikdash. It's not like this land is our land, like almost every other nation in the world said, this is our land, it's our homeland, it's our this, it's our that. But the ownership of Am Yisrael over Eretz Yisrael is one thing. It's germane to the very existence of the Jewish nation. On Shivasa B'Tammuz, we lost the Torah. The Torah was burnt. Tisha B'Av, we lost the Beis Hamikdash. Later on, we lost Eretz Yisrael. Now we are losing the Das, which is ourselves. Yisrael Oraisa Kuchabrichu. We're losing the Das. What's Pshat Das? There's no English translation to Das. The closest translation is knowledge.
Or wisdom. Wisdom. Yes.
But the truth is that Das is very different from wisdom and from knowledge. Rav Dessler explains in, I don't know if it's Lev Miyal, Michtav Miyal, I'm not sure which. I heard it from Rav Akiva Tat, so I'm not sure where it is written. That said that basically two eyes, two gazes, two looks, as it were. There's an outside eye, outside look, where you, from your own eyes, you see outside yourself. See what's going on around you. If a cheshbon, this and that. In other words, all the chochmah evonis, sciences, whatever it is, this is all a person dealing with something which is outside himself. But then there is an inner eye. And the inner eye is what a person uses to look inside. And this knowledge is not something that you learn. It's not accumulated data and pieces of information, or even understanding of concepts. It's a fundamental knowledge that a person knows, for instance, that he exists. How do you know that you exist? You just know. Human being is the only creature in the world that has this awareness. This awareness that he is somebody, that he is an ani, he is an I. All animals have different natures, and even every specific animal has different natures. I mean, you have cats. You can have a bad-tempered cat and a nice cat, or a dog and there's a bad dog or a nice dog, whatever it is. But it's not. It does not come out of a perception of a self. An animal does not perceive itself as something separate from the world around it. It's just everything is just is. That's it. You can see the same thing in babies. Before they get das, babies don't, they don't perceive that there's anything outside them. The entire world for babies is me, reaching out. There's the mother, there's the this, there's the that, when the diaper is full, the baby feels uncomfortable, starts to cry. Somebody changes it. You know who it is? It doesn't matter. It's all basically him. When does the child actually receive this das? It says the Gemara says when he eats dagon, when he's able to eat bread, but able to eat grains. Lamaisa, this plus minus corresponds to the time where the baby starts to talk, not mamish talking, but basically say mama or dada or something like this, which means that the baby is aware that there is the baby and there's somebody else. There's the mother or the father, me and somebody else. That's the beginning of das. This is what we're talking about, das. That inner look, inner knowledge. The first place that we mentioned, that the Torah mentions das, is in the connection of a man and his wife, which seems to be a funny place to mention that particular thing. Dafka there. Let's talk about, because ultimately the true connection, the true yediyah, the true das, inner das, looking inwards, between a man and his wife is a knowing the same way that a person knows himself. It's something dafka in the question of a person and his wife. We're talking about something which is learned. You learn how to love your wife. How do you learn how to love your wife? You learn how to look at your wife with a positive eye. You're looking for the beautiful things in her. You let go of the things that she may do to you that causes you to prickle and being pushed back. And what happens is you get this inner view as you and your wife are actually one thing. It's not a seicheldike thing, that you learn about or whatever it is. It becomes that. You become one entity. We're living in a world today which is in the stage of what you call post-truth, post-emes. It's after emes.
Post-truth?
Yeah. Truth does not mean anything today anymore.
It's in the world of sheker.
It's not even sheker. Whatever it's post emes. There's no Indian of emes and sheker anymore in the world. Nobody that argues with you is even feels compelled in any way, shape, or form to prove that you're wrong. I just want things to be my way, and being that I have the right for things to be the way I want them, ergo, bada bim, bada boom, it is the way I say it is. Because I say it is. And I'm allowed. So it is. Yes.
In other words, there's no universal MS.
No, yeah, that's it. Just my MS. Whatever I want MS to be, it's my MS.
Yeah, but then there's the phase of connector, and the wife has to be opposite.
That's why people divorce. Because each one has his own MS.
Yeah, but one of the spouses puts each other in its place. So then when a person lives alone,
When there's seichel, when there's das, but today there's no more das. That's the last thing that we're losing.
even when they say so, the purpose of the wife, her husband in place, or husband and the wife in place, but a person who lives by himself all the time, he becomes very strange. That's so you have to.
The nakuda that we're making over here is that
As a connector,
the main point that we are we're trying to
Yeah.
the loss of realization that we and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is one, this kind of knowing it the way that you know that you are a separate human being, that you're a separate entity. You realize this, you, there's the world. The realization that you and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is one needs to be known in the same depth. The only way that this is possible is when we have Beis Hamikdash. It's not for nothing Beis Hamikdash is called Cheder HaMitos, the bed chamber. There's the knowledge of Kodesh Baruch Hu and us as one thing. You're the Kruvim, we're hugging one another. Man and wife. So Kodesh Baruch Hu and Am Yisrael. What we lost is that total perception, total knowledge, this knowing, looking inside and just quote unquote like, I don't know, the subtext, let's say instinctively knowing, or just, I mean, you don't have to think about the fact that you are somebody else, you know? You just know it.
That one perception at the giving of Parsonah, or
Yes,
or
exactly. We got it in Har Sinai, and that's the reason why people stopped dying. Death was abolished. Okay, then came Egel Azov. Then came the Meraglim. So we had Beis Hamikdash. In Beis Hamikdash there was Korbanos. The Korbanos punctured an aperture, a hole in that cover where we feel I'm me and have to do to invest tremendous amount of effort to communicate with the Kodesh Baruch Hu, to feel the Kodesh Baruch Hu, that, like there's love between us, the same kind of difficulty that a person can have in a relationship. And now, the way the world is today, we are losing the last remnant, is the das. We're losing the das. There's nobody to talk to. Try to have an argument. Try to have a talk with somebody. Like, I don't know, from outside. There's nobody home. There's literally nobody home. Any mil daber. But the thing is that it's not just us and them. Because even when you look from the outside, you see that it's like the 10 madrigas of Eretz Yisrael, the entire Yisrael, then there's Yishalayim, there's the Azara, then there's, all the way to Kodesh HaKodeshim. L'havdil, I have a friend who's a very, very precious Jew, very something sweet, sweet, about chesed and everything. And he has learned Torah and everything. And he was speaking about a couple of wild boys that burnt the phone store by Yesh. Yeah, okay. So he was very upset with him. And he's a businessman, very big. And he said, I have business dealings with lawyers, whatever it is, from the Freiveld. And you know something? I feel more comfortable with them than I feel with these fanatic boys that burned the store down. So I say, these people that you feel more comfortable with than these, they say the same thing about you. That they feel more comfortable with Goyim than they feel with you. They're not telling it to your face. With Goyim. The Fry people, the Fry Jews. This is the way you say that you feel more comfortable than you feel with these fanatic boys. The same way the Fry guys are saying they're more comfortable with Goyim than they are with you. And you are like a mild Shemitah mitzvahs, but they're more comfortable with the Goy than they are with you. And the Goy, no. And the Fry people say, and the Goyim say that they feel more comfortable with the Nazis and with the Palestinians than they are with you, the Fry Jew. Now, each one feels more comfortable with somebody who is than somebody inside. Everybody always dislikes the one who is actually better than him. He's better than him, so why are these boys better than him? These boys may be misguided, bevadai, but they care. They care. Yeah, they're passionate. They're wrong, to be punished, whatever it is, but they're passionate. They're mekana. But whatever it is they did, what I'm saying is that they have passion for Kodesh Baruch Hu. You feel, okay, it's okay, you do your thing, I do mine, it's okay, we can live with that. It's what we're talking about, the existence where Beis HaMikdash exists is another quantum leap in the connection, the knowledge, the das, that v'yadat es Hashem. Atares el das ki Hashem Elokim. We don't know that the Kodesh Baruch Hu is like, Each one, the further he is from the epicenter of Kodesh HaKodeshim, in the Das, Kel Deus Hashem, in the Das itself, the more, okay, take it easy, the less chayes there is. Those things that push people out from the epicenter of knowing the Am Yisrael, you as a Jew and a Kodesh Baruch Hu is one thing. That's the kinnis malachim that pushes a person out. What we lost on Tisha B'Av is knowing that we and Hashem is one thing, the way that you know that you and you are one thing, and you're not somebody else. It's the only way to reach V'ahavta Hashem Elokecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol nodecha. How can you love somebody you don't even know? The answer is, you and HaKadosh Baruch Hu are one thing. Yisrael, Araisa, Likutey Moharan II. We are one thing. When we see Nekama, B'ezrat Hashem, we will see when Mashiach will do Yismach Tzadik ki choza nokam. The Tzadik will rejoice because he sees avenging. When that's his galus of the Meluch HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The same thing is when there's a Beis HaMikdash. When there's a Beis HaMikdash, every single day there are korbanos that open up the way, open up the barnacles from the ships that are anchored, that are breaking out. There's the paraduma that takes the tumas mis, which makes us blind completely. And we are, Lemaisa, so blind that we don't even know we're blind. Somebody who met, Baruch Hashem, says Tikkun, wake up Chatzois, says Tikkun Chatzois, and cry for the Shekhinah. He comes to Tisha B'Av, he cries. He cries, he realizes what it is that he lost. With me, the most I can lament is the fact that I don't feel any pain. I'm happy. I read the kinos, I get shocked every time again. I'm able to understand the words, which is not easy. But mostly, I can lament the fact that I can't really lament. I can't really cry. Why am I not crying? The fact that it doesn't hurt me, it hurts me more than anything else. I'm not zoiche to puncture through this, to make an opening so I'll be able to feel the immeasurable loss that me and HaKadosh Baruch Hu are one. And Mimele, I go and I seek pleasure elsewhere. It could be sports games, it could be, I don't know, for some people, whatever it is they do, books, movies, whatever it is they do, in order to, in the meantime, because a Yid yearns to something, to make sure that he is alive. And our life is a Kodesh Baruch Hu. Our life is Torah. And if there's something that squeezes that breathing pipe to the point that we can't breathe, so we look, Beres Nishbarim, we're looking elsewhere, Hashem Yilachim. a little joy, a little simcha, a little whatever, desperately. The thing that Chazal teach us is Kol mis'abel and Yerushalayim zoicher lirois b'simchasa. Anyone who mourns for Yerushalayim merits to see its simcha. The language is a little strange. It doesn't say anybody who mourns Yerushalayim yizke will merit to see its simcha. It doesn't say that. It says zoicher. He merits. Present tense. The answer is that the more koyach you put into being misabel on Yerushalayim, in the middle of the day, you may take in chatzois, chatzois ayom, you can sit down and say, take in chatzois. If you don't say it at night, say it at night. Just read the Mizmor Tehillim. The thing is that we feel that if we don't feel the Chorban, if we don't feel the loss, then we're not doing anything. We're not accomplishing anything. But it's not true. Any and all effort that you invest into mourning on Yerushalayim, whether you feel or you don't feel, it doesn't matter. You want to. You push yourself to. This is das. This is an inkling of das. And it adds up. That's the thing that you are zoicha to be an eternal Jew. I think I told you, I spoke to somebody that so why don't the Haredim join the army, whatever, all they don't enlist, whatever. And I said to that person, there were yeshivas 2,000 years ago. They were? They know nothing. It's just like that. And I had another friend who was, a little more educated, whatever, says, there were. I says, do you agree with me if there were no yeshivas 2,000 years ago, there would be no Medinas Israel today? He says, well, yeah, obviously. Not a mysterious, mystery thing. If there wouldn't be yeshivas 2,000 years ago, there wouldn't be for whom to make answers, because there wouldn't be Jews anymore. But that person that I spoke to said, no, I don't agree. Why not? Well, because they have no das. You know why they don't agree? I don't want to agree. I don't want to agree. So I don't agree. And therefore, it's not like that. Simple. That means there's no das. There's no das. There's no existence of a person as a Jew. They just suffer. They don't know from what. Because life is painful. When you are misabel Yerushalayim, you are zoiche to see in itself. Take anything, whatever it is, on Tisha B'Av, whatever it is that brings you to tears. I did it, with this, and I reminded myself of saying goodbye to my father before he passed away. That made me cry. And Mimela was able to cry on separating from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. How do I know that that works? Rabban Gamliel. They said there was a woman in his neighborhood, lost a child. And she was crying so hard and wouldn't, and refused to be consoled. Rabban Gamliel reminded himself of Golus HaShechina, of the loss of the Shechina from her tzar. And he cried, he said, until his eyelids stuck together. Be me'or yourself. Do something that you feel connection with. And bring yourself to cry for the Shechina. Especially anybody who lost his mother can bring himself to be misabel and Golus HaShechina easier than anything else. Because a person does not know what Golus HaShechina means until his mother passes away. Because when the mother is home, when the mother is alive, even if she's not home and nothing is the way it's supposed to be, everything is okay somehow. Something is okay. My mother's around, so everything is okay. If the mother's not around, even if everything is, everything is just the way it's supposed to be, nothing is beseder. Nothing works. That's the Shechina. That's the Tzar Shechina. Get yourself, if you can get yourself, to feel this esoteric, Tzar, because I didn't prepare myself, being Tikkun Chatzos every single night. So be me'or yourself any way, shape, or form, any way that you can. Remind yourself of something that happened to you and borrow from that and dedicate it to that. This is Avelis on Yerushalayim. And as Rabbeinu says, and it's that Misas HaTzadik, Mistalkos HaTzadik, it's the beauty of the world. Because the beauty of the world is the beauty of you. Not to get too deeply into this new Sikha. But the thing that blocks you and me from crying on Tisha B'Av are these malachim. We were created to have a mshala over these malachim. We will learn in this Torah the eitzes and the way to actually gain that position of controlling these malachim, of being above these malachim, of telling these malachim what the Kodesh Baruch Hu has done, which they don't like. They want to be between you and the Kodesh Baruch Hu. Like, hey, it's like the Bagats have this. Like Bezat Hashem, B'sus Rabbeinu Arizal, and B'sus the Rebbe, in his immense, exalted Kedusha. Bezat Hashem will all be Zoicha. First of all, to mourn the Churban Abayis and the Golus HaShechina. And Bezat Hashem will be Zoicha to see the Simcha of being in Yerushalayim. We will learn what's being in Yerushalayim here in this particular Torah. What does it mean? Shem Yazor, I have a good Shabbos. Bezat Hashem will see. Bezat Hashem Viyesh Meshech Tzidkein Bezat Hashem soon. And Binim Esamikdosh Bezat Hashem. And all the tears will turn into joy. We'll be to see the Nikmas Hashem, Ness HaMikdash in the Das. Solche Tegilui HaKadosh Baruch Hu B'Shleim B'Zat Hashem.
Amen,
Kol
amen.
Tov.
Any
Rabbi,
fathers, Maria?
Sunday,
I'm sorry?
are we
And if your father is gone,